look at this circuit in terms of origins, this is one of the, if not the, most iconic circuit in the world of American oval racing today. And today, for this, your Thursday Xfinity Series, the race for the chase has hotted up, and this is the last chance saloon to book your place into that all-important chase. 8 drivers will get in already. 2 are there already at the moment on this RaceSpotTV and iRacing Live. Your Thursday Xfinity Series is underway. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Sperry and Connery Maddock here in the commentary box. Connery, a fantastic circuit, 2.5 miles of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 4 turns, all backed completely different from every other oval in terms of its structure and the way to set out.
Yes, it definitely is. You basically have to take most of these corners like you would in a very long road course, and it is quite flat here. There's a slight bit of banking, but as you say, the banking is almost different in every single turn. You have to take every single turn just a little bit differently from each other, and that is one of the many things that makes this a fantastic racetrack.
Oh, it certainly is, and there is a lot to play for here today for those down the order and looking to get themselves into that all-important chase. It's quite important to know where things are then right now. We can see as things stand, 2 drivers have already got themselves through. That is the number 30 of Logan Cress. He's already into the chase. The other driver into the chase is the number 27 machine. That is Corey Silver. He is also down into the chase as well. But looking further back from that, drivers in positions in the championship from positions 3 to position 17 all have a shot of getting into the chase via point system. The top 5 who get themselves in on points from 3rd to 7th will get themselves into the chase. After that, you get one person who finishes the highest today who is not in the points. He will also get himself into the chase as the wild card, and very crucially, Connery, that wild card will earn himself a BBJ button box holder, a fantastic prize for what is a fantastic drive here this evening.
It is a great prize, and it just adds that little bit of extra incentive to try and go all out for that wild card position, and this should create some absolutely fantastic racing out here on track. Your guys are still under the qualifying session right now. Currently provisional pole is Logan Cress, so he's put in a fantastic time of 52.650 qualifying time right there. That is around about just over half a tenth faster than John Smith.
Yeah, certainly he's doing a fantastic job with that time at the moment, and something to really look at. He's got about 5 wins this season here out of the 7 races that have already been done. He's done a great job of neutralising the field, making sure that nobody else can really get through from that win and you're in scenario. If someone different wins, be it from Logan Cress and also the driver of Corey Silver, then that's it. They're straight into the chase, and 1 spot is taken away from the points. So it would be drivers from 4 to 7 in the champion, well, 3 to 6 even, that would get themselves in through on points. Connery, a very interesting circuit in this one. You look at a strategy like this, 60 laps, they will have to come in for tyres at some stage. The caution factor might become a thing around a circuit like this. You're all looking to try and jostle for position, and on a circuit that's, say, a little bit wider, a little bit less natural as an oval compared to other circuits, do you think there's maybe potential for more incidents around a circuit like this?
There could well be, especially down into turn 1. That's generally where you see a lot of incidents at this track as people jostle for position. It's generally only 1 line through the corners right here that is the fastest. You can go too wide, but then again you'll be losing lots of time by doing that. So it's going to be 2 into 1s that are going to be the main feature of this race if we have cautions.
Yeah, 2 into 1 is going to be the key here, as we are currently here in qualifying. 10 minutes flat out. They will get a chance to finish their lap times if they are on one, if the timer does so expire. It's a 52-second lap here with disparity through the field here, Connery, to about the akin of 1.5 seconds here out of the 20 drivers we've got here at the moment. So there is a little range here in qualifying paces at the moment. But the top 8 split by 0.3 of a second. Really nice to see around a longer track like this. I think there's a lot that can be done here in this race, and there's certainly going to be quite a few contenders.
Yes, there are, and your only other race winner except from Logan Crest, that is the number 27 of Corey Silva. A little bit down the field, he's not on the top 3 spots, he's currently down in 5th, and he's looking to get a good qualifying lap in right now. Thing interesting to note though, on this particular lap he's on right now, he does not have any draft to help him, so if he wants to put in a competitive time, he's going to need a buddy up front.
Yeah, you certainly are going to need that buddy up front. You are going to need that draft, which becomes oh so crucial coming through later on into this race. It's not a case of 30-40 car packs where you are going to be jostling through that field. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier if you fall back down a little bit to get yourself back through that pack with just under 2 minutes to go then here in qualifying as things stand right now. Connery, they're running this NASCAR Xfinity machine here. It's not the big almighty powerful thing that you could say see in the NASCAR Peak Anti-Free series, but this sort of car, it certainly does have its fair share of bite.
Yes, it does. It's more momentum based than your standard Sprint Cup car. It also is running the slightly higher downforce package on these Xfinity cars, so it's not a lot of point and square off the corners like the Cup cars are, but it still should play host to some fantastic racing around here at Indy.
Yeah, and one small thing for qualifying ends in just over a minute's time. This track is very likely to heat up come towards the end of the race. That's also going to mean that the track will grip up. It will mean that more drivers will be able to get that grip, but at the same time, slipping away will be the grip from the tyres. You're going to see the marbles start to kick up on the outside of the circuit. It's very difficult. Also, you have to remember here, Connery, pit entry is a difficult matter as well. You drop yourself down to the apron, you've got that secluded little apron line, or you could take that other line of going straight to the left-hand side coming out of turn number 4 to really make sure that you hit your markers coming down onto the lane.
Yep, these guys I believe will be pitting off of 4. I believe that is the best strategy right now, but when it comes to pit exit, I think they'll have to stay within the little bit of... Yes, they actually got to stay on the pit exit road coming off of pit exit. So that means they cannot enter until after turn 2. They cannot come straight back onto the track after turn 1.
Yeah, that's very crucial because they can't get up to speed as quickly as you could normally say. If you could come off of turn number 1 and get yourself onto turn number 2, use that parabolic banking to get yourself through. Qualifying in terms of that one is done. It will be all about who can get themselves that brilliant last lap to the line. We will keep an eye on that one as things go right now. It will be interesting to see how everything will play out in terms of this context. This is the race for the chase. 6 spots remain in terms of going to fight for the championship in the final 5 races of the season. As things stand right now, it is Logan Crest then on pole position here with a 52.650 as things stand right now. And you are certainly going to see cars try to duck off onto track as well. You are seeing Evan Black currently in 2nd position right now, 52.657, 7 thousandths of a second splitting your drivers right now. John Gilmore Smith in 3rd position. He'll be joined alongside on row 2 by Chad Coleman. Row 3 sees Corey Silva already secured into the chase with Thomas Pettersson there alongside in the number 9 machine. Glenn Bowen on row number 4 with Stefan Wang there with Charles Smith there on row 5, joined alongside by Dale Stanley. Mike Thomas then currently in 11th right now. Simon Thorns there in 12th. Row 7 is Mark Day and Wayne Galloway. First of the Day brothers there, Mark Day. Then you got Jeff Dodson and Dode Hoskins there with Joshua Medlock and Stephen Parks. The final 2 cars then, as we're going to get ourselves ready to sit behind the pace car right now, Jeremy Funk and Craig Day will round out the final row. Row number 10 here on this grid, Connery. Nerves start to settle up. You're an oval driver yourself. You know exactly these sorts of feelings that the drivers will be feeling right now. Anticipation, getting ready to start a very, very crucial race like this one. All to play for. 60 laps, 150 miles of racing will occur.
Yes, indeed it will, as your guys just grid up behind the Ford Mustang pace car right there. And this is early stage of the race. It's very important for your drivers. This is where you get to settle into your rhythm. Just find your space. There's a bit of carnage coming down into turn 1 with all cars going side by side, 3 wide, 2 wide, whatever. But as soon as you can get into your own space and settle into your own rhythm, the better.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you're looking to try and see that breakaway from the league driver. Logan Crest will be able to bring them away as they look to go on forward. Of course, you can see stuck behind that fantastic, marvellous pace car here today, and everyone will be looking to try and score as many points as they possibly can. It's 40 points then for a race win in this event, and there are bonus points on offer for fastest lap, for leading the most amounts of laps, and leading one lap during any stage of the racing right now. Pace car will pull himself off of the grid right now. It will be, I believe, a one-time round before we get ourselves going to green right now. We'll just need to reconfirm that later on here. It will be a one-time around then, as I've just heard from my director right now. It will be so important to get that run. Logan Crest holding the field then right now here, and now you can wait a little bit, but once you get to the back of turn number 3, Connery, you really do have to be side by side, in line, ready to pounce the moment it goes.
Yes, you do, and it's going to be quite a while before the... there's quite a bit of time when the pace car pulls in and when the green flag actually comes out, and Logan Crest can go anytime he wants between the pace car pulling and the green flag coming out, so your drivers behind have to be very aware. And I'm also going to just look at the pit strategy here. I think it's going to be a battle between the 1-stop and the 2-stops. If you're going to do a 2-stop, you're going to be pitting in at every 20 laps. If you're going to do a 1-stop, you're going to pit in at 30 laps. And I really think it's going to be a battle between those two strategies right there, Jake.
Yeah, it certainly will be. You can see here trying to warm up the tyres, maybe a little bit. Logan Crest a little bit impatient then. There you can see on the left-hand side, there is the turn into turn number 3 that they're going to go past right now. Option to go down into pit lane there is certainly one that's going to happen, but you can see just waiting, you just look at it at 73 miles an hour then. Logan Crest just sitting on the back, waiting for that opportunity to go, and will look to try and get that big breakaway as things happen. This is an Indianapolis 150-mile race then. The race for the chase looking to get itself underway. The pace car will be ready to pull in just 1 moment's time. And you can hear engine notes getting ready. Pace car pulls in, and the weight is there. He's going to hold him up and hold him up and hold him up and wait to get the green to go. He's going to hold it. Green flag flies. Let's get ourselves underway, and someone's not holding up. That's in 3rd position. John Gilmore Smith gets a shocker and drops about 5, 6, 7 down into the pack. 4 wide in places. Whole shot for Logan Crest. He'll get it, but round the outside. Great driving from Evan Black. Black to your race lead already as they head to turn 2, Connery.
That is an absolutely fantastic move from Evan Black around the outside of Logan Crest in turn 1 and 2. That was absolutely brilliant move as these guys start to fall in line right now. We have 2 wide battling back in your pack. The number 55 of Dale Stanley currently battling with Corey Silver, the number 27. The number 27 just going to go down the inside right here. 55 not going to fight it. He's just going to pull back and fall in line.
Yeah, thank you very much, he says then. He says that there is no real opportunity to fight right now. I'll try and play it later. As things stand right now, if Evan Black stays in 1st position, he will automatically guarantee himself a spot in the chase. Behind that, Logan Crest looking to the inside a little bit at turn number 1. Prime overtaking opportunity down to the inside, then he'll try and go 2 wide in 1, and we're going to see if we can get a great run coming out of the corner. We're going to stay side by side then for 2, but it's half a car length in favour of Logan Crest. Crest to your race lead as they head through turn number 2, and look behind. Chad Coleman wants a piece of the action.
Yes, he does, and he will take it 2 wide coming down the back straight, and he's going to have a little bit of help from Logan Crest right there. Logan Crest just pulls over, just tries to help him with the draft as both cars go 2 wide down into turn 3 right now. Chad Coleman with the preferred line. The 8 is going to try and hold it around the outside, but is unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful for the moment. Can't get a cut back down into turn number 4, so down 2 positions from what was first on the opening lap. Evan Black starting to become the anchor that's sinking down the field just a little bit, but that draft will certainly start to play into its own effect later on as things go on. We still see the likes of, say, John Gilmore Smith, who had that worst start of all possible worst starts. He's now down back in your pack, minus 11 positions overall, as he's now stuck in the position of 14th, looking to try and make his way back up the field right now. And you can see now the train starting to develop here, Connery. You see a sort of train effect where everyone's trying to get that draft, get that draft, get that draft. Nobody really being able to gain on one another, but they're going to have to be relying on stacking this draft and really running it tight into the corners.
Yes, they are, and John Gilmore Smith is going to have his work cut out to try and get through this field if there are no cautions, or at least very few cautions during the course of this race. We just saw someone just slide up against the wall slightly. That was number 43 of Mark Day, just giving a little bit of love to the wall, and I think that's going to be a theme throughout this race as well.
Yeah, you're going to have to be careful. You're always pushing the boundaries on how fast you can go through a corner. And if you do take an extra millimetre out of it, sometimes it might end your day in a bit of tears. There are no fast repairs. Glenn Bowen in the number 70 looks to the inside then of the 51 machine there of Simon Thorns there just ahead of him, looking for an opportunity. Not going to happen. Going to sit back and wait in line there. Chad Coleman gained 2/10 though on the leader that last time by. He's looking all over the back, not close enough for the moment. Evan Black just sitting there waiting pretty for the moment, but Simon Thorns and Glenn Bowen, this battle for 8th and 9th, there might be some significance for these positions come the end. Remember, Connery, we do have this situation that the highest placed player who is not inside of the top 7 come the end gets a wild card shot and gets himself into the chase. This becomes crucial when you're fighting for minor positions.
Yeah, this is where every single point you can get matters, because only 2 drivers are currently locked into the chase. We will have at least 1 more locked into the chase via the wildcard system after this race. So every single point matters for these guys. You see Glenn Blow in the number 70 dive down the inside of the 51. Right there, he's going to have the third line, but Simon Thorns in that 51, he's going to hold it around the outside. He'll make it a drag race coming down the back straight. He has the momentum. He will just defend the position. Actually, he lifts out there. He's going to let Glenn Bowen in the number 70 by, and that could be a strategic move there from Simon Thorns.
Yeah, it might be a strategic move. You can see he's going to try and cut up and under, try and use it to go into turn number 1. You can see run through turn number 4, looking to try and get a good, nice run out of it, but he's not perfect through that corner, a little bit late to the apex before he gets himself back on that power, looking to get himself out and away once again, looking for a way to get himself back then into the position of what is 8th position overall. You can see they are losing time right now to the drivers just ahead there. That is Dale Stanley in the number 55 machine, who is just starting to break away in that respect. We have a leading train then of 4 cars as things stand. Thomas Petterson has lost himself momentum. Corey Silver now, your biggest charger at the moment here, up only 1 position for the day, but he is now right on the back of the leaders. And remember, Corey Silver, a race winner, already in their chase and all over the back here, Connery, of Evan Black in the 8.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I think he just carries a little bit too much speed towards the apex right there. Just slightly misses the apex of the corner, but that's not going to lose him too much time as we see Chad Coleman. He has a little bit of a run here in that number 28. He may challenge for the lead coming down into turn 1. He's closing up. He's going to get right to that rear bumper of Logan Crest. Not going to attempt the pass though. He's just going to sit in line and wait. But one thing I've noticed the number 30 of Logan Crest doing though is down the straight he's pulling towards the middle of the track, trying to break the draft behind him, and that's exactly what you would do in an IndyCar.
Yeah, it certainly would. Oh, big slide around. He's going to go around there. That's the number 28 then of Chad Coleman. Will keep things green for the moment right now. No chance of hitting the wall. He keeps himself together, but he drops all momentum and opportunity then going down into that corner. It's so easy to do, Connery. You just get a little bit loose coming out of the corner, and the moment that it starts to level out, you just go spearing down to the infield.
Yes, and he's not the first to do that, and he certainly will not be the last to get loose out of turn 2 right there. Just spins the car around towards the tarmac infield right here. Does not bring out the caution though, and if you were Chad Coleman, you would have hoped that caution would have come out.
Yeah, you certainly would be. Gap, though, at the front has opened 0.8 of a second now in Logan Cress's favour. He doesn't have the draft, but Silver and Black. Silver's now got up into 2nd position. Now these two need to start working together here if they are going to close down the number 30 of Logan Cress. You could argue that Corey Silver and Logan Cress don't really have to do anything. They've already booked their place inside of the chase. Evan Black is a driver that has to go and do something here today. You do have to remember, he's already scored a bonus point. He led the opening lap of the race. The other 7 laps of the race, though, they've been in Logan Cress's favour, and that's going to be taken down. Big tap to the wall there for Evan Black out of turn number 3, and that's going to cost him momentum and maybe a little bit of damage to the right-hand side. He might get a little bit loose.
Yes, at tracks like Indianapolis and Pocono, any aerodynamic damage to your car is going to affect you a ton, so he has to be very, very careful right now. Maybe be hoping for a caution to try and get at least some of that damage repaired to the right hand side of the car. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops off even more from these front two right now. As we look towards Mark Day in the number 43 car, he is currently battling with the 92 of Galloway.
Yeah, he certainly is here. This is the battle for the final spot inside the top 10. Galloway looking in through turn number 2. You can see car getting out of the way. Traffic becoming a little bit of a thing. That's Mike Thompson there. And he looks a little bit worse for wear and losing momentum then. So he is going to be struggling here as we're going to see side by side behind Galloway and Gilmore Smith. Gilmore Smith trying to get himself back through the field. He is down 9 positions overall to the inside. Thank you very much. He says, I'm going to gain myself a position. But now you can see in front of that, Thompson now under a lot of pressure. Here comes Mark Day. Looks to the inside of 4 here on lap 9 of 60. And he looks for the opportunity at 1/6 distance. Not going to happen just yet. Compromise of the run. Here comes the driver of Wayne Galloway, is it? No, it's not. It is John Gilmore Smith side by side in that number 71. Looking to the inside of turn number 1, Connery. And you know what? Bob's your uncle. 2 positions, 1 lap.
Yep, the Mark Day in the number 43 just tries to hang around the outside. Is definitely unsuccessful in that endeavour. They have some traffic ahead of them in, well, not traffic, that is actually the position. That's Mike Thompson actually trying a little bit of a higher line. I don't think he's having that much luck with it, as John Gilmore Smith is just reeling him in.
Yeah, John Gilmore Smith certainly doing a fantastic job of bringing that in. You can see that wider line actually was being taken then in towards turn number 2, definitely. We saw that from the driver of what was Mike Thompson just then. He managed to get himself okay in that number 76 machine, but that run out of 4 becomes so paramount. Expect that to be something here around a circuit like this. You can see Thompson just holding line for the moment, 9th position, holding it right now. Gilmore Smith waiting in the wings for an opportunity, and around a time like this, you also need to look at the front gap down to just 0.2 of a second then. Logan Kress and Corey Silver, both drivers who have got themselves through then into the chase, but a little bit wider. A big slide to the inside goes Corey Silver, and Silver holds it. A great hold, but one that drops him about 0.7 of a second, Connery.
Yeah, brilliant save right there out of turn 2 from Corey Silver. We saw another driver get loose out of there and not be so successful in saving it. So that is a brilliant save from Silver as he hits the wall. The 27 just grazes the wall. That's going to cause a little bit of damage to that right-hand side. That will affect his aerodynamic speed, straight line speed on the straights. But yeah, that was very close for the number 27.
Oh yeah, it certainly was, and you cannot afford to be in a position like that where you are in trouble in things like that. Side by side though, Gilmore Smith and Mike Thompson then battling for 9th. Let's continue to go on to the inside of turn number 1. Goes past the crowd, down into turn number 1, and actually look who's opportunistic behind. Mark Day thinks, yeah, hello, I can see something down the inside. You can see it's going to pinch the man there up to the top, going high side, and there's nothing that can happen. Actually, loses all form of turn into turn number 2 there. Does the driver of Mike Thompson.
Wreck behind, 76 around.
Yeah, and that's Mike Thompson there. We're just talking about him. Just gets himself wide into turn number 1. Nowhere he can go as he tries to cut the line, loses all momentum, and Galloway straight into the back of him there, the number 92 machine. And that one, Mike Thompson, it means that he's lost all sorts of trouble here today, Connery.
Yes, I believe he went up into the marbles, and the marbles that weren't actually cleaned before this race started, so there's a whole ton of marbles up there, and if you get on those...
Oh, big red, caution, caution, caution! First caution of the day comes out, that's Stefan Wang, who's managed to get himself into issues down out of turn number 4. Replay then, let's get that one up on screen, work out exactly what's happened. It's a self-issue for him. He just gets wide out of turn number 4, little bit of a tap, can't hold it, round he goes into the wall. So lucky here, he does very well to avoid all the drivers 2 and 3. So Stefan Wang, the first casualty of the day, caution number 1 in your books, Connery.
Yeah, that was great wreck avoidance there from the number 55. Goes down towards the inside, was almost the wrong decision as the 85 was just coming down the track, but narrowly misses him. Also behind that was the number 70 of Glenn Bowen, also avoiding that instant. And it's always scary when there's an instant coming out of 4 and on the front straight, because the track is quite narrow, so there's not a lot of places to go if there's a car spun at the middle of the track.
Yeah, and you can see right now nobody here going into pit lane as things stand right now. You can see everything can just calm down for a little bit. If you're the drivers at the front, you think this is your worst nightmare for the moment. The number 30 of Logan Kress, they will in a minute pit as the pit lane will open in just a moment's time. Logan Kress will have to feel that he got himself a great getaway. He saw the mistakes happening behind Connery, but you have to say it hasn't worked out. They've caught the pace car, and now it's a waiting game here for a few laps as they look to try and see maybe the first pit stops of the day.
Yep, these guys will definitely be coming down pit road for fresh tires. I noticed that the tire wear is a little bit excessive here. Logan Crest was already down about 1.4 seconds on his best lap at the end of that stint, as he will just go to the bottom of the track right here. They'll have to pit off of turn 4, but they're going to take tires, they're going to take fuel, and then we're going to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, we certainly are going to. And actually, one of the big strategy calls here in NASCAR racing is the 2-tire call against the 4-tire call. Granted, you can take that 4-tire call, get 4 fresh new tires, great rubber onto the track, and you can go and set some blistering times, and you can get yourself there going. But the question is, if you take 2 tires instead, or even no tires you could potentially take and stay out in this one, you can definitely gain an advantage in pit road, get track position, but maybe you're a little bit slower come the mid part of this race. All your leaders then come in. Crest comes in, Silver is in, Black in, Peterson, Stanley, 1 driver, 2 drivers stay out on track right now. Connery, interesting decision then. Charles Smith in the 42, he will keep himself out and will inherit the race lead.
Yes, he will, as most of the rest of your field are coming down pit road. Logan Crest just looking for his box. It's going to be the first one on pit road as he brings that car in and gets it stopped to take 4 fresh tires, we suspect, and some fuel. There's no point in getting only 2 fresh tires on the car this early on in the race. I don't think it is worth it, as Logan Crest did have a little bit of an issue coming into his pit box here, so don't be surprised if he loses out on the battle off pit road. Here comes the battle off pit road. Corey Silver knows it. Just a no to the line there. Corey Silver will come out first.
And that is going to have to hurt Logan Crest a lot, and it means that there is a lot of troubles there. An Indiana driver then leads in Indianapolis. Hometown hero gets himself a great little run then, and he gets himself then ahead of what you could argue is your net race leader in the term of Logan Crest right now. But stick with us just for a few moments time, because we're going to get ourselves back to green in a few moments. Let's take our first RaceSpotTV commercial. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for this, the race to the chase here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is your Thursday Xfinity series, streaming live on iRacing Live, brought to you by RaceSpotTV. Jake Sperry and Connery Maddock in the commentary box. We've seen some interesting tactics play out here, Connery. We've seen the likes of drivers stay out that extra lap, then come down into pit road. The reason why here, Connery, they're looking to get that bonus point that's so crucial around a track like this. Corey Silver now inherits the race lead, Crest in second, Thomas Peterson from 6th to 3rd.
Yeah, and there's going to be an interesting fight between Logan Crest at number 30 and Thomas Peterson coming down into turn 1 in this restart, because the inside line definitely has the advantage here. So if Peterson can get a very good start, he could get into second place in this race if he hangs Logan Crest out to dry on the outside.
Yeah, and we've been seeing here all throughout this race, we've been seeing drivers struggle out of turns 2 and out of turns 4. The incident that we saw that caused the yellow was just getting a little bit too wide out of turn number 4. You really want to be running here. You know there's a white line just before the curb. You really want to try and dip your left front and your left rear inside that former line so you can get yourself that perfect run. The track actually falls away from you a little bit coming out of that corner, Connery. It's just enough to cause drivers to just get that big wiggle, and we've seen it with the drivers with most arguably the most noticeable has been Mike Thompson in the 76 here. He's been under real amounts of pressure here around a circuit like this.
Yeah, just going back to that loose thing out of turns 2 and turns 4. And turn 2, I've really struggled with that personally as a driver, just the looseness you can get off the corner. It is a very, very challenging exit to that corner, and you just gotta get it exactly right. Otherwise, you could be hitting the inside wall or the outside wall, depending on how you get it wrong. But we're going to be one to go right here. Your field are lining up 2 by 2.
They certainly are. Lights are off on top of the iRacing Ford Mustang as things stand right now. Place card. And well, you can certainly see here American Ethanol branding certainly there on the top of it right now. You can see here lining 2 by 2 at the moment, looking for those big opportunities here. You can see on the outside for the moment here is Corey Silver. To the inside is Logan Kress. You can see Thomas Pettersson there in 3rd, Bowen 4th. And you can look further back down. Mark Day, Dale Stanley, Dode Hoskins making inroads then. Up 11 positions. Up 10 is Stephen Parks in the number 1 machine. Maybe there's been a little bit of strategy. The big faller though in that pit stop strategy, it's been a number 8 machine. Evan Black led the opening lap of this race. He's now down to 11th position overall, -9 for the day. But you can see now coming off a turn number 4, we're going to get ourselves ready to get ourselves going once again. To the outside is Corey Silver. We saw the big advantage happen on the opening one, and he might just try and play the waiting game again. They're going to close up. Pace car then comes down in. The waiting game now starts, waiting for that flag to get going. You can see the little straddle that already happens. Green flag flies. Second green phase gets itself underway right now. You can see Kress on the inside looking for a way through. It's Pettersson who's not got the best of starts. He's already down to 5th. Let's go side by side. Whole shot at the moment with Logan Kress, but to the outside is the hometown hero, Corey Silver, holding on to turn number 2 and looking to try and pinch the man. Gets the car, gets to the lead.
Yeah, he has to be careful coming off the exit here as he gets oh so close to the wall. That number 27 almost hitting the wall outside of turn 2. That was another fantastic pass around the outside on the restart. That has happened twice in a row right now, and it's rare for it to happen even once, but that was a fantastic move.
Fantastic move indeed. Dale Stanley falling a little bit back through the field. We've seen the pass with Thomas Pettersson. Mark Day now looking to try and go down to the inside. He's completely out of sync. Has no draft to help him. Needs to get back into line. Finally does. The cost. 2 positions have been lost there for Dale Stanley. That's a big one. And you have to say there is a lot of things that have been going on. We've still got some side by side behind. We've got the likes here going on here. Chad Coleman just sitting on the back. Got the likes of Charles Smith looking to get in. Jeff Doston looking for some opportunities as well. Funk and Black then going side by side as well. The number 8 machine down to the inside at turn number 2. Very comfortable. Bob's your uncle there, Connery.
Yes, he will be through on the number 97 of Jeremy Funk right there. The side-by-side racing behind him. That's Joshua Medlock in the 6th. John Smith in a number 71. The number 71 on the outside coming into turn 3 as he goes a little bit wide. Will he be able to hold the position right here? Coming off the corner, gets very close to the safer barrier on the outside. He's going to have to hold it around the outside again, but the number 6 pulls out.
Yes, he does. Dode Hoskins loses the position to Evan Black to Corey Silver. I do have to apologise. I've pretty much offended the entire state of Indiana because he's a New England native there. My apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. But racing continues green. Silver holds himself a 4/10 of a second gap there or thereabouts as things stand right now. We're on lap 20 of 60. 1/3 distance then scored complete at the moment. But your big mover here is Evan Black in that number 8 machine. Now in P8. He's up 3 for the moment. A little bit of a wiggle then coming out of the corner for the car ahead. Number 1. Stephen Parks, he'll look to try and get himself to the back bumper, maybe down to the inside here for turn number 3. An easier job than turn number 4, some may argue. And you can see he's got half a car to get himself down in. Side by side, let's go. And that's going to be pretty much thank you very much.
Yeah, the number 1 off, Stephen Parks, was very, very courteous right there, just letting the number 8 through. pushing wide on that high line into the marbles just a little bit as he almost hits the wall coming out of 4. So these drivers are really cutting it fine with how close they are to the wall coming off of the corners. Of course, they're trying to maximize their exit, try and get the most speed off the corner, but sometimes things can get very close.
Yes, they can. Still got side-by-side Chad Coleman then in the number 28 machine, looking to try and get away through on Joshua Medlock, and does get past the number 6 machine. Medlock now under threat from Charles Smith. Back of your pack, 13-14. We do have 2 drivers then who are scored as not racing at the moment. Craig Day failed to make the start. Simon Thorne 6 laps down and stuck on pit road side-by-side into 3 and 4. Funkin' now Chad Coleman gets himself another one, so he's starting to make the inroads that we know he can. He's got to try and find a way past 3 more to get to the front of the train. This train that's starting to get a little bit loose, a little bit wiggly there. Saw straight in the middle of that pack. Dode Hoskins getting a little bit out of shape. Now trying to take that lower line to get out of the corner well. And now you can see there behind that, Connery, side by side, it's Coleman and also the driver of Gilmore Smith.
Yeah, he may have an opportunity on the other car ahead, the number 66 of Dode Hoskins right there, as he will take it too wide coming down in step 1. That was very close. Dode Hoskins giving Chad Coleman a little bit of a pinch coming down into the corner. Chad Coleman had the awareness to back out of that one, but I don't think he'll be happy with the driver of the 66.
No, he certainly won't. You can see he gets a stunning run out of the corner. Let's go 2 wide. How about 3? Looks to the middle. Goes for the whole shot maybe. No, can't do it. Looks to the outside then. Goes to the inside. Looking to try and get past Dode Hoskins. Hoskins gets the best run. He'll get the position as they look at Stephen Parks just ahead of that. And Parks will run wide. And that's going to allow the opportunity then for Chad Coleman to get himself down through a scary, sketchy mount of corners. Just manages to sort itself out a little bit. Parks starting to drop back here in this battle going on, but at the front, Logan Crest sitting pretty, waiting 2.5 tenths of a second, quarter of a second to wait here, Connery. And this one, he can just sit, play the game, and when the time comes, the move could potentially be his.
It could potentially, as we just saw the number 28 just get past the number 66. That was an easier move than what happened last lap when the 66 car crossed the nose of the 28, but the 28 is safely through for now as he gets a little bit loose out too. It was a little bit of a scary moment there for the 28, but he manages to get it pointed in the right direction.
Pointed in the right direction, and 1 of the 9 lives used then for that driver of the number 28 machine. Chad Coleman started 4th on the grid. Up goes Dode Hoskins, and Hoskins up into the fence, but he keeps it together. You can see the chain reaction out of turn number 3 there. Dode Hoskins just got a big wiggle, and that one just getting incredibly loose. Lucky to keep the car in a situation like that, Connery, and we can see battling certainly going on.
Yes, indeed it is. One of these battles is the number 71 and the one of Stephen Parks right there. As actually they'll get filed in single file coming down into turn 1. There's also the number 76 and the 6 right there battling to turn number 1, but they also get single filed out, as well as the number 76 get very close to the wall. And one of these days that these drivers are going to hit the wall at some point during this race. I know they have already, but I think we'll be having many more.
Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Stephen Parkson holding on well, not very comfortably at all here to 9th position as things stand. Looking to have this scrap with John Gilmore Smith, looking to try and make their way through lap 24, looking to start lap 25 then of your event right now. Coming up towards halfway in the race for the chase right now. We've only had 1 caution and a great run from Gilmore Smith then coming out to the corner. This is going to allow the opportunity to go side by side then as they head towards turn number 1. You can see very comfortably to the inside. It's the 71 machine looking to try and use that overspeed advantage then. As you can see, 186 miles an hour down onto the brakes a little to just 155. Comfortably gets the position. Is there going to be a crossover? Well, Parks is certainly going to try and do it into 2. And you know what? He's trying to send a nose, but the nose ain't going to get sent there, Connery.
Not there yet for Stephen Parks. He tries to counter that move of the number 71 of John Gilmore Smith, but he was unsuccessful in that attempt. The number 1 will just have to sit behind just for now. Looking towards the front though, it is still Corey Silver in at number 27 with Logan Crest. He's not actually that far behind. He's just staking in the draft right here, just waiting for his opportunity to pounce.
Yeah, and actually look at this battle then lower down. This is with Mark Day and Thomas Pettersson side by side. A little tap of the wall there for Pettersson coming out of 4 on lap 26. Goes to the inside. Thank you very much. Mark Day then is your biggest mover and shaker right now inside of the top 10. He's up an astonishing 9 positions right now, but it's not over and done with. Look at Evan Black there, right on the back of this train, looking to try and make this one. 2 positions lost then for the driver of Thomas Pettersson in the space of 1 lap. To the inside then he looks. He's got not enough at the moment, I say, but if he can send it deep down to the inside, that'll be very comfortable then for a position. Backs out of it, very wise into turn number 3, looking for a different place to do it, but you can see that wider line taken from Mark Day will lose all forms of momentum. Now, Connery, they're going to stack up.
Yes, they are, as they come through turn 4, looking to get a very good exit, especially for Evan Black right here as they go close to the wall. No one in particular has a run just yet. That number 8 will have to sit behind just for another few corners at least. But this fight is definitely hotting up just in and around your top 5.
Yeah, it certainly is right now. You can see to the back bumper is Pettersson, and again, the driver in front of Mark Day takes a little wider line out to the exit, struggling to get that car turned right in, and that Xfinity machine there. You can see now Black, another little look then to the inside. He doesn't quite have enough. He'll try and pinch his man as far as he can to the outside to allow him to use as much track as he possibly can going into the corner. Down on the brakes, maybe has a little look to the inside, does force the man wide. Now looks to get a little bit of a half a car down the inside. Won't happen through turn number 3. Has to sit back in line, and the more time that he loses here in this situation, Connery, the more time is ebbing away from Silver and Crest. Remember, Black led at the start of this one, and now back to 6th on a recovery drive.
Yeah, the number 30 of Logan Crest just looking as we have caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, going to try and find out where that one has happened, and well, it's a pretty... Yeah, it is a caution. It's Jeff Dotson then, who has managed to get involved in the number 15 machine. Let's take it back, take a replay, and let's see how he has done that. And you can see comes out of the corner there, gets a big slide, a little bit into the wall, and he gets a bigger slide then and goes down onto the apron there. That's the big turnaround. There is a caution for you, Jeff Dotson then, in all forms there of the number 15. It's the second caution here of the day, Connery, and we've seen some good green flag racing here around this circuit. We had 12 laps to begin with this time, and a very similar sort of run now. On current pace, we're seeing about 3 cautions, potentially 4, come the end of this one, and you have to say that's pretty good going for a circuit like this.
Yes, it is pretty good going. Most of the incidents we've seen have been single car incidents. That first caution was brought out by that car just coming down off the track in turn 2. But the single car incidents usually haven't brought out caution. It's just in this one in particular does.
Yeah, it certainly does, and it's a little bit of can the stewards find it, and the answer was yes, they did for this one. What this does mean, it just slows everything down again. Corey Silver then at the front joins up behind the pace car, and we wait once again. Pit stop window will be cycling on in just a few moments time. We'll see if anyone will come down in, get some tyres, and things will happen. There's a lot that goes on here in a stop like this, Connery. Track position might be the time here as we hit halfway. Now might be the time to go for the 2-tyre call.
It may well be the time, but I think they've just done a little bit too long of a green flag run on the current tyres that they have. It'll be a very risky move if they take 2 tyres right now. We may see that if there's a late caution during this race, we may see some of your drivers opt to take 2 tyres in the attempt to gain track position, but right now I don't think so.
I don't think so. We're going to head through turn number 4. Who's going to drop themselves down onto the lane? And the moment it seems that we're going to get pretty much everyone once again. We're going to see Corey Silver come down, Crest down, Bowen down, Day down, Pettersson, Black, Stanley, Coleman, Gilmore, Smith. They're all going to come down onto the lane. Who stays out? Mike Thompson stays out, so he wants that extra point if he possibly can. He will try and get himself to the stripe first, and will he get himself past the bricks? Answer's going to be yes. He'll take a lap. He will take a point here, Connery, and that 1 point might play dividends come the end of the race.
It could well do that, as it's going to be the battle between Logan Crest and Corey Silver coming off of pit road, as Logan Crest this time gets safely into his box. The person that does not, though, is that number 8 of Evan Black. He's going to have to reverse it just a little bit. He will lose a little bit of time, maybe a few positions, as they take all 4 tyres right here. Here comes number 27 of Corey Silver. He's going to beat Logan Crest off of pit lane, side by side behind them, Mark Day and Thomas Pettersson. I believe Mark Day might have got that one.
Yeah, big Yeah, a big battle coming out of pit road, and a big battle that does make a little bit of a shake-up then inside your top 5. Evan Black a big loser then, and the race for the chase continues. Let's take ourselves then with a RaceSpotTV commercial. You're watching your Xfinity Thursday series. We're just over the halfway stage here in a race for the chase. 7 spots will be secured by the points. 1 spot will be secured by the wild card as things stand right now. 2 drivers have already made their way through to the chase, and currently they sit 1 and 2. Corey Silver and Logan Crest, then the 27 and the 30 at the front of the field right now. They hold things in station at the moment, but behind that big battle goes on. Mark Day, Thomas Pettersson has the biggest outside chance in 4th position right now. They're lining up 2 by 2, Connery. The lights are off on the pace car. This will be the final lap of caution that we are going to see before we get ourselves back green again. The big story though in this pit stop window, Evan Black is back down the order again. He's back in 13th position, minus 11 so far for the day.
Yeah, we did see Evan Black just miss his pit stall slightly, having to stick it in reverse and get that car situated in the right position in the pit box. He's going to drop back through the field as a result of that. He's down in 13th place right now. But one person I have been impressed by is that number 43 of Mark Day. He qualified 13th. He's up to 3rd as it stands right now and in a good position on that inside line.
Yeah, he certainly is. He'll be really looking to try and utilise that as well as he possibly can coming out of 4. They're just about to come down in towards turn number 3. You can see grandstands on the right-hand side. There's the pit entry line that you could normally see, and you can see now in through turn number 3. They're going to go along, and again, Corey Silver is going to choose to use that outside line. A concert decision, then you could say, from Corey Silver. We saw it work in the first in the start of the race. We saw it work on the first restart? Will we see it work on the second restart then of the day? Through turn number 4, they're going to go along, and all eyes will turn then to that pace car at the front of the field, looking to try and get themselves through. Although it will come in pretty early, it's a big wait here before you get yourself green to go. Pace car then will turn off left, will go down onto the lane, and now it's a big waiting game. You can see just waiting for the go, waiting for the lights, waiting for the green flag. Let's get it, let's go, let's get ourselves underway, and it seems a pretty good jump then from Mark Case, and you can see Mark Dave and Logan Crest down to the inside. Let's go side by side again. Who's got the whole shot in? And this time it's Logan Crest, a little bit easier, but holding it around the outside is Corey Silver once again, showing exactly what he can do into turn number 2, and he'll take it again. We're still too wide behind for third. That will single out single file, and it's all no change in terms of your top 4 here, Connery.
Yep, here comes Chad Coleman though on the number 9 of Thomas Pedersen. He will try to take the inside line coming down to turn 3. He has side by side almost exactly coming down onto the braking zone for turn 3. Chad Coleman at number 28 up 1 spot.
Yeah, and he's done a fantastic job side by side then. We did have behind for a bit with Dale Stanley and John Gilmore Smith. We still have side by side Charles Smith and also the driver of Evan Black, looking to try and get onto the back of this one with Stephen Parks. Parks going to get there, but up further forward though, battle for third. Coleman's going to look to try and get himself on the podium, and at the moment it seems he'll get himself a great recovery to the inside. Thank you very much. The recovery's complete. He's +1 for the day.
Yeah, that was a textbook pass coming down into turn 1 for Chad Coleman. I don't think Mark Day really fought it all that much in the number 43. He is in a fantastic position already, having qualified in 13th place. He was 12th in practice as well, so to find himself this far up the field, it is a great drive.
Yeah, it certainly is. And how about Dale Stanley right now, looking at the back of Thomas Pettersson, not going to get it into turn number 3, waiting for the opportunity. A little bit of a wider line behind that from John Gilmore Smith. Glenn Bowen now starting to fall a little bit behind, looking to try and get that move down into the corner. Can't get it for the moment, single file. They will remain. Logan Crest again playing that waiting game at the front of the field. Connery doesn't have to make the move. We've said that before. He's already got his position, so has Corey Silver. Do they want to let in someone else automatically into the chase, or do they want to see people come in on merit? That's the question.
Yeah, I think firstly they'll be thinking about who's going to get this race win. When you're so far out the field here, you're already locked into the chase. You might as well just go for the win as well. But Chad Coleman looking good here for that wild card spot. He will get it if the race ended as it is right now. He is currently not locked into the chase, and he is the highest placed driver that is currently not locked into the chase. So if things finish as they are, he'll get through. Mark Day will miss out. But I'm just looking behind right now. Is all relatively single file. Actually, there's that number 1 of Stephen Parks getting very close to the wall out turn 3. He's coming under pressure from the 42 of Charles Smith.
Yes, he is, and Evan Black just behind that gets a stunning run coming out of the corner, looking for a way through side by side as well, because a car has got very loose out of turn number 4. John Gilmore Smith, that is, because Bowen will go straight through on that one as they head to turn number 1. Parks holding on for the moment, and you can see Smith backs out of it there further behind. Through will go Evan Black. He'll make a move through the field. He's probably been the driver who's had the biggest charge but made the most mistakes today. That's the big question. That's the big point even that has really done it. But actually, Mark Day now under a lot of threat then. Battle for 4th. Thomas Pettersson then will go back at him. Try and get himself down the inside there. The number 9 looking to try and get the move. Has himself the car ahead at the moment into the corner. And you know what? Call that one a scored pass complete up to P number 4 very, very comfortably.
Yeah, the number 43 was looking for a little bit of a cutback off the corner right there, but he didn't manage to get it. Now he's going to come under pressure from the number 55 of Stanley, as Stanley gets a relatively decent run coming out of turn 4. He's trying to get alongside before turn 1. Will he just dive it down the inside of Mark Day? That's the question we have to be asking. And he will try and get a nose in there, but a little bit of a pinch from Mark Day keeps him behind.
Yeah, it does, and you can see there he tried to get himself down to turn number 1. The pinch was there, but he had a little bit of a wiggle to the right there. That's what caused him to come out of the corner. Now coming out of 2, looking to try and get that run. There is Toe up ahead of him there of that car of Thomas Pettersson. It will be a little more minimal than you could say normally you will see, but now he tries to have a little look then. Does Dale Stanley in the number 55 machine on the 43 then of Mark Day. one of the Day brothers, the other brother, Craig Day, failed to make the start. You can see, looking at turn 3, no. Looking at turn 4, no. Maybe a run out of turn 4, and a great run mid-part through the corner. Gets himself a great run off the exit. Already goes to the left-hand side, can't get anything, has to fall back into line. Take a little bit more toe and try again. If first you don't succeed, he'll go for the second attempt. Maybe a little dive to the inside. Takuma Sato-esque in the IndyCar. No, not going to happen. Waits for the moment. 38 of 40. We're almost 2/3 distance.
Not just yet there for Dale Stanley. He did have a good run coming through the middle of turn 4, but he had to lift out a little bit as he was going to hit the back of Mark Day. That just stalled his run all the way down the front straight, meant he was not able to challenge for position coming down into turn 1 as we are battling behind between John Smith and Evan Black.
Yeah, John Gilmore Smith then and Evan Black looking to go side by side, and they're side by side behind that as well. Black to the inside, takes the position very comfortably. Funk then through on Charles Smith, and we saw Smith and also Stephen Parks almost have the biggest scary accident I have ever seen there. Just so close then to clipping themselves together front to rear. It did work out in the end for the pair of them, but that could have ended so easily in tears right now. Dale Stanley still on the back of Mark Day, still looking for that way through then as we come up toward lap 40 of 60 then in 150 miles of Indianapolis Motor Speedway in through 2, looking for a way to really make that position count. 42 minutes 30 seconds we've been racing. We're expecting about an hour and a little bit then to call this racing scored done. Mark Day then holding on for the moment here, and he's just using that draft ahead of him, Connery, to really good effect. Doesn't have to worry about it for the moment with Pedersen behind. Maybe a game of strategy starting to come in, but as you can see, Day's holding him off his man very, very well.
Yeah, an excellent defensive drive so far for the driver of the number 43. Will Dale Stanley have a good run coming off of 4? No, he will not. He'll have to settle in behind. This is about as far back as he's ever has been on Mark Day right now. There's definitely no opportunity coming down into turn 1. Looking behind though, the 97 and the 42. The 42 of Charles Smith looking towards the inside of the number 37 coming through turn 1. The 97 will have to hang it around the outside. Look behind though, there's Joshua Medlock in number 6. He's going to smell blood as well while these two are fighting. Instead he takes the high line right there. That's going to suffer off the corner as he almost hits the wall right there. But as we look, we see the number 1 heading towards the middle of the track. He's trying to break the draft from Jeremy Funk in that number 97. 97 looks towards the outside, trying to take the wider line in, maybe looking for the cutback on the number 1 as he almost gets it. Will he get alongside for turn 4? I believe he will. It's battle coming off of turn 4, but he has to back out of it.
Yes, he does. He just goes a little bit too far then and can't get a position. Now that's going to allow the driver behind of Charles Smith to get back to the inside of number 42 machine. Looking for the move, going to get the move then as they head to turn number 1 on lap 41 then. Out of the possible 60 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now to the back bumper he tries to go on the driver of Stephen Parks. What happened? Side by side behind. Little bit of contact almost there between Funk and Medlock. That's going to allow everyone else then back to try and get themselves back in. Stefan Wang, he had a big slide though from that driver there of Jeremy Funk. He holds it together, doesn't get it 90 degrees, but he does so well to keep it. But surely that will ruin and flat spot his tyres, Connery.
Yes, those tyres will be screaming for help after this one as they scream across the track, just all locked up. Well done not to collect any other cars in that instant. Well done not to hit the wall. But we're still green flag racing right here. And if you're Jeremy Funk, you're hoping for a caution in the next 4 or 5 laps just to be able to catch up back to the pack.
Yeah, and I'm now looking at this battle for the lead because that has come down to 1/10 of a second. Logan Kress had a big wiggle coming out of 1, but Corey Silver there almost tapped the wall and he gets a little bit lucky then here out just over 2/3 distance, looking for a way then to try and break away from Kress, but Kress will not let go of that back bumper. He will hug it and make sure he doesn't let go as if it's a toddler's teddy bear right now as they head towards turn number 3 on circuit. Logan Kress looking to go at it but can't get close. Wide line from Corey Silver. He might start thinking at a time like this to just wait on it a little bit and start to just wait for an opportunity to arise.
Yes, if we look at the laps last time by, Logan Kress was actually around about a 10th faster than Corey Silver. We have to have a look at what the times are coming across the straight this time as they just do that. or nothing to choose between them. It's about a 100th of a second in it. If you look at lap times, Logan Crest all over the back of the leader, the number 27, coming through turn 2. He needs a good run out of here if he's going to make a move coming down into turn 3 as both cars get a little bit loose coming out of there. Corey Silver's going to move towards the middle of the track to try and break the draft. Logan Crest will follow him towards the middle of the track as he looks towards the inside right now for turn 3. Is he going to dive it down towards the inside? Not going to happen.
Not going to happen, but you've got to remember, Chad Coleman will come back into it. He gets a good run out to the corner, and let's go battle for the race lead then to the inside. Tries Logan Crest at 4, and he looks to try and get the run, but he doesn't get himself as good as a run as he would have desired. Has to fall back into line. This battling is allowing Chad Coleman to come through. If he manages to steal the win come the end of this race, that's it. He wins himself a place in the chase through the win and in rule right now. Coleman then from 0.6 of a second now, looking to get to 4/10 of a second now. As you can see, these two or three now starting to apply the pressure. Last quarter of the race coming to effect, Connery. The race well and truly on.
Yeah, as we just saw the number 71 of John Gilmore Smith actually coming down pit road, so that says to me he may be splitting this last stint into 2.
That is Glenn Bowen in the number 70 machine getting a massive slide, holding it together out of 2. The trouble problem has been there. Replay then up on screen. Bowen, so lucky, Connery.
Yep, and he is just following what a couple of other drivers have done already during this race, just getting wicked loose out of turn 2. There was actually a car ahead of him. That was the 55 of Dale Stanley, just getting into the wall a little bit there, and that's going to cause some damage to the right-hand side of the car, but that was an impressive save from the driver of the 70.
Yes, it was, and side by side for the lead into 1. Logan Crest starting to try and force the matter then on Corey Silver. Looks for the inside at 2 and trying to keep it, but you can see he's running that outside line, the trunk a little bit more rubbered in, and maybe it's about finding the grip. Little bit of a slide then through the mid part of the corner. Logan Crest take a bow for holding that, but now they're going to come under pressure from Coleman, who's looking to try and take it around the outside. You can see trying to break the draft is Corey Silver, and to the outside he tried. To the outside he can't do it, Connery, with just 15 laps to go. They're all kicking up, and now 100%. The red line limiter is starting to be hit.
Yes, the 28 getting good run out of 3, coming through 4. I don't think he's going to have an opportunity as your leader just grazes the wall. That was Corey Silver in the number 27. This gives the momentum advantage to the 30 of Logan Crest. I think he's going to be a little bit too far back to be making a move down into 1, but all of this battling your lead 2 have been doing is just doing no good for their tires at all. As Chad Coleman gets a little bit loose coming out of turn 1, those tires are really going off these cars right now.
Yeah, they certainly are. Let's just compare the lap times. Oh, huge slide there from Corey Silver. He holds it. Advantage Crest then down to the inside. And here we go for the lead. I think Logan Crest will pretty much say, I've had my filling. I've done sitting behind your bumper. I'll go to the inside. But he's not giving this one up yet, is Corey Silver. But he'll have to. Coming out of turn number 3. Change for position. Your leader now is Logan Crest then as they head through turn number 4. Advances in turn number 1. 55.1s was the last lap times we saw from Chad Coleman. And you compare it to what they were doing at the start of the stint. 53.4s they were. Let's go 2 wide then. Silver wants another go. He's got the inside and maybe a little bit of push into turn 1, Connery. Not going to happen. And now traffic on the exit.
Yes, that could play a factor as Corey Silver almost makes contact with the 30 of the Logan Crest. That lap car is going to stay towards the inside. That will not play a factor in this one. That is 51 of Simon Thorns as they come onto the back straight. Coming out, and there's a caution on the racetrack, Jake.
Yeah, there is a big caution, and it's Joshua Medlock, the number 6 machine there, as he was just outside of the chase coming into this event. Tried to go 3 wide into turn number 1 there. The cars also involved Mike Thompson and Dode Hoskins. Tried to take the outside line, and you can see, it was a little bit of a chain reaction domino effect there. And in my opinion there, you saw Mike Thompson go to the inside. He maybe had a little bit of room there, Connery, to really work with. Come with down into turn number 1, so maybe a little bit more room could be given. What it does do, it resets the field, and I believe we will have ourselves about a 10 or 9 lap sprint come the end.
Yes, it is a 7 lap sprint as we quickly get corrected by our director for this evening. That is the one, the only Will Vincent behind the cameras. But yeah, going back to this instant, I believe the number 76 could have run a tighter line into turn 1 right there. just comes up into the 66, who comes up into the 6 and sends the 6 around.
Yeah, you're certainly seeing everything happening right now here in an event like this. You are seeing these battles starting to get themselves in. We've slowed everything right down now. It's time to take a little breather and see how the field looks at the moment. You've got Logan Crest currently in the number 1 position. Corey Silver second. Coleman is third. Thomas Pettersson kept a little bit quiet in that stint there after the original. He went back to 4th position right now. Mark Day in 5th. Evan Black made great inroads there. He's now up into 6th position overall in this one. There is traffic in the middle of this pack, so there will be a wave around then, and I believe the wave around will go to John Gilmore Smith. Not quite too sure about that one. Maybe Simon Thorns might get himself an opportunity. Now is the battle on pit road, Connery. Now is the case of 2 tyres versus 4. Who makes the 2 tyre call to try and get themselves up to the front of the field? There's not many laps to go, and now this is where the strategy becomes very crucially viable to do.
Yeah, the 2 tyre call will be very risky at this stage in the race. We've already done 18 laps on this set of tyres right here. If you're going to go for 2 tyres, you better hope that you can hold it, as it gets a little bit loose if you go with 2 tyres. But as your cars just come down pit roads into their pit stalls, they should all get in fine right there, as Chad Coleman, the 28, has a little bit of a slide. The 8 has a little bit of a slide into his box, gets in fine though. They go up on the jacks on the right hand side, and then the left hand side, as it's going to be a battle off of pit road between your drivers. Everyone is taking 4 tyres. Here comes Corey Silver and Logan Crest for the lead. Crest will get it. Chad Coleman out in 3rd. Mark Day out in 4th. Pedersen 5th. And Evan Black out in 6th.
So Pettersson then -1s out of this situation. Not exactly what he needed to do there. He lost that position crucially, Connery, in that stop. It does mean it's back to line of stern. And now Logan Crest has that advantage. And we've seen on restarts here, we've seen that problem where to the outside has seemingly worked more than to the inside. Maybe a little bit juxta to what we normally come to expect. So Logan Crest, the question is, what side does he line up on?
I think he has to follow what Corey Silver has done and maybe just try that outside line. And it's very untraditional here. Usually the inside line has an absolutely massive advantage coming down into turn 1. But it seems that your drivers right now can hold it around the outside.
Yeah, they certainly can, and they're looking for those opportunities. But what could be for the final time here this evening, we are going to take you to a RaceSpotTV commercial right now. It's all to play for. The final few laps are coming here in the race for the chase from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is your Xfinity Thursday Series. 1 lap to go before we go green. When we go green, lap 52 then, out of a possible 60, gets itself into play. That will leave us with a total of 9 laps to go then in your motor race. This is your Thursday Xfinity series. This is the race for the chase, and this is the one that needs to be looking to play for. On the front, it's Logan Crest. Corey Silver is there in second right now on the front. Second row is Chad Coleman and Mark Day right now. Interesting thing to note, the better run at the moment has seemingly come off of turn number 1 on the outside on restarts. You can see Logan Crest has gone to that outside line, and he's going to try and use that better arc into turn number 1 to really get himself forward. Jake Sperry and also Connery Maddock here in the commentary box on RaceSpotTV and iRacing Live as we get ourselves towards turn number 3. Connery, very quickly, we're about 9 laps to go. Who's your pick?
It has to be between Logan Crest and Corey Silver. I believe it's really hard to choose between them, but I'm going to put my money on Corey Silver right here. The number 30 will have the initial advantage, but during the course of this race, Corey Silver has been very, very quick indeed, but you haven't got to count out the number 28 of Chad Coleman. If these two guys at the front start fighting, the number 28 could be in with the fight as well as we come off turn 4. We're going to go for green flag racing shortly.
Yes, we will, and you can see he's looking very eager there. He managed to close up to the back of this pack. They have the leading 2. Pace car comes in last time by. 9 laps to go then. When they cross the line, waiting for the cue of green. Gets the green. Let's get ourselves underway. A little bit of a slower start there from Corey Silver. It's caused a little bit of a check up there through the mid part of the field, through the likes of Pettersson right now as they head to turn number 1. Unchallenged, whole shot. Logan Crest gets himself to the front, but it's not all over and done with right now. Day on the outside, Coleman on the inside, hits the wall, and we're going to go and get a massive drift. He holds it somehow and falls through the pack. Mark Day with a save of a magnificent proportions. It costs him the run, but oh my word, Connery, that could have ended so badly.
Yeah, brilliant save from Mark Day. He actually will go 3 wide with the 66 and the 37 coming down into turn 3. That turns into 2 wide with the 66 on the inside into turn number 3. But take a bow, Mark Day. That was one of the best saves I've seen here at Indy.
Oh, absolutely. It's done fantastic. Crest holds on to things at the front of your field right now. Coleman is there in 3rd. Evan Black, don't count him out. He's there in 4th position. He took the first lap of the race, and he hasn't taken one since. But now, closer than ever, maybe he still has a chance in the number 8 machine. The number 9 of Thomas Pettersson then, currently in 5th. Dale Stanley in the 55. Good drive from him at the moment. He's there in 6th position then as they head to turn number 2. Your race leaders right now, side by side battling. Well, that's a little bit reminiscent right now, but we have Mark Day trying to get back through the field. He gets himself through then on the driver of Jeremy Funk in the 97 machine. He gets himself a good position, Connery.
Yes, he does. He's just working his way back up through the field after that impressive save in turn number 2. There's battling near the back of your field. That is the number 76. Mike Thompson on the inside of the number 15 of Jeff Dotson as they come through turn 3 and 4. They will still be 2 wide coming through turn 4, but this is a fantastic battle right at the back of your field.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see Dotson here is not going to try and let this one go here in the number 15, but in the end, he doesn't have enough top speed to do it. He'll have to sit back in line and wait then behind the driver of Mike Thompson there in the number 76. Can't do anything more about it though, but to the front of your field we have to go because they are line astern and they are allowing Chad Coleman to come back into this one, Connery, with just 6 laps to go when they next cross the line. There's just going to be a few more miles, 10 plus to play for just only. It's going to be one of those things with 15 miles left. They're all going to be looking, jostling for position, hoping that it's going to be them who takes the checkered flag.
Yeah, the number 30 and the 27 at the front of the field. There's absolutely nothing to separate them as Corey Silver gets right onto the back of the rear bumper of the number 30 of Logan Crest. Will he have an optimistic move coming down into turn 1? He doesn't have the run, but he's close enough to sling it down towards the inside if he chooses to do so. He does not choose to do so. Takes a little bit of a tighter line than Logan Crest coming through there, but nothing to separate these two cars with about 6 laps to go.
Yeah, and you can see he was just a little bit smoother there on the accelerator, could work it a little bit well, but slightly misses the apex through turn number 2. Advantage Corey Silver then to the inside with 6 to go, and with 5.5 to go, he might make the move complete then. Side by side for your race lead as they head down into 3. Silver has it for the moment, trying to use the arc then. Is Logan Cress on the outside? He'll still have a little bit of a car there. He'll have to be caught up on top as they head to turn number 4. He's still going to try and hold the car there, but eventually he'll have to give that one up. Race lead then, 5 to go. Corey Silver's Connery, still so much to play for, and now Chad Coleman's coming back.
Yeah, that two-wide racing is just slowing these two cars at the front down. Will Logan Cress have a little bit of a look coming down into turn 1? He shows a nose a little bit, but decides to back out of it. But look at number 28, he is relatively close. Look at the 30 coming out, getting the run off of turn 1. He's going to take it side-by-side through turn 2, as that was very close like that. Here comes the number 28 behind in 3rd place, though. He will have the run off the corner on the number 30 of Logan Cress. Actually, he backs out of it there, Jake.
Yeah, he's waiting for another time, a more decisive move than that. Maybe the positions to get into 2nd, but never count out the driver in 3rd position in this one. Here, there's still opportunities here. They've opened out ever so slightly, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see right now, Logan Cress looking for that opportunity to get back to the race lead. He's been pretty much waiting all race long behind Corey Silver, who's taken the lead and probably the most laps led as well around this circuit of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just 4 to go, 10 miles on the circuit to just get yourself through into turn number 1, and nothing doing for the moment then for your front 3. Battle for P number 4 though still going on as well. Evan Black holds that one from Thomas Pettersson right now here, Connery, with just so little to play for.
The number 9 looking for the better run off the corner. He does get it, but will he be too far back to make a move down into turn 3? He closes up in the draft. I don't think he will be close enough, but he is going to be close to the back bumper of that number 8 of Evan Black, who's had a little bit of a yo-yo race. He's towards the front of the field and the back of the field and the front of the field and the back of the field. He can't catch a break.
No, he certainly can't, and of course, with just 4 laps to go, if we do see a caution in this time, that's it. That will be race over, and whoever's in the lead, come that caution flies, that's going to be it. To the outside, tries Logan Cress with just 3 laps to go at Indianapolis. Here we go, to the outside he tries, and he's looking, and he's got the arc, and he'll stay side by side for turn number 2, trying to use it to his advantage, and still, it's going to be a resilient defense for Corey Silver, trying to cut the nose off his man. Just about can't do it. They're going to remain side by side as they head to 3 and 4, Connery.
Yeah, there was just a splitter between your two drivers at the front right here. Corey Silver will take the inside line coming down into turn 3. Logan Cress will have to hang it around the outside right here. Or is he just... Oh, there's absolutely nothing between these two drivers at the front right here. Chad Coleman still there in the number 28, maybe looking to pick up the pieces if these two cars get into an instant. Here comes Logan Cress towards the outside again, coming down into turn 1. Corey Silver is defending that inside line with his life.
He certainly is. 2 to go. Chad Coleman, if he wins, he gets into the chase side by side. The 2 have already won it. And around the outside goes Logan Cress to the race lead with just 2 laps to go. He says, I want it and I'll take command. Coming towards the white flag lap then, and you can see Coleman waiting to see if there's anything that happens. The 2 drivers in front of him have taken all 7 race wins so far this season. That's how dominant those 2 drivers have been in securing a place in the 2 of the chase. Into turn number 3 then, and with just a lap and a little bit left to go, maybe it's starting to tell here. Maybe there is a chance for any 3 of these drivers to take the win. If all 3 of them get an incident, maybe Evan Black in the number 8 could pick up the pieces from there. It's all to be said and done. White flag will fly at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is the final opportunity. There's no more turning back after this. 2.5 miles into turn number 1 they go. Not close enough yet for Corey Silver in the 27. The 28 of Chad Coleman waits behind. The 30 of Logan Cress holds station in the lead at the moment. Maybe it's about the run out of turn number 4. A little bit of a slide almost into the wall there from Corey Silver, but he holds it with great finesse as he heads towards turn number 3 on circuit. You feel you need an almighty run coming out of 4, looks to the inside, and maybe there's a chance, but he can't quite get it yet. He looks and keeps looking, little bit of a slide then, little bit of a shot to the back bumper, and he continues to look as they head through 4, but I'm sure now, if I was sure than ever, that Logan Crest will hold on side by side for a second. Let's go. Logan Crest will take it at Indianapolis. Second for Chad Coleman, who steals it from Corey Silver, who only takes third after being first with just 2 laps to go. Unbelievable, Connery. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable scenes right here as Chad Coleman just steals second place off of Corey Silver after the number 27 and the 30 had an absolutely barbaric battle in the final few laps right here at Indianapolis. A little bit of a door tap there from Corey Silver on Logan Crest. I think they both acknowledged that was a fantastic battle that we've seen right here.
Oh, what a fantastic last few laps, and it set itself up for the grandstand finish, and we absolutely got it around a circuit like Indianapolis, and players will book their way into the chase after some great results up and down the field. Final results then, let's try and get those up on screen for you. Logan Crest then takes it in the end, 1 hour, 6 minutes, 32 seconds by just 2/10 when it came all down and said it. Chad Coleman will come home in second, steal it from Corey Silver in third. Evan Black then will come home in 4th position. Thomas Pettersson then in 5th with Glenn Bowe in 6th. Dale Stanley there, a great drive for him in 7th. Charles Smith did well and finished in 8th position. Mark Day, a major slide coming out of the final restart, brings him back down to 9th position with Dode Hoskins rounding out the top 10 in the number 66 machine. Mike Thompson then will get 11th with Stephen Parks in the number 1 machine in 12th position. Jeremy Funk will finish 13th with Jeff Dodson there in 14th. Joshua Medlock there in 15th with the last car on the lead lap being Stefan Wang, an instant early on in the race. And then the cars that failed to finish: Wayne Galloway, John Gilmore Smith, Simon Thorns and Craig Day, who failed to make the start. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to step aside for just 1 moment's time. When we come back, post-race coverage here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The race for the chase. Well, the chase has just been finalised. A fantastic final few laps we've seen then around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The race for the chase, well, the race for the chase is over. The places will be booked and all will be done for in the final 5 races. The 8 will go to 5, then the final 3 showdown at Las Vegas. But for the moment, this has been Indianapolis, and we got our race winner in with us right now. We got the driver of Logan Crest. Logan, a very hectic race here we have just seen. Everyone's been looking for that opportunity. You've been sat on the bumper for the majority of the race to Corey Silver. 2 laps to go. Round the outside, you try it. Round the outside, you take it.
Yeah, that was honestly the greatest race that we've had all season. So I at like 5 laps to go, I didn't care if I won it or lost it. It was just a great fun race.
Well, certainly it was. And well, for you, a season that has been completely dominant, you could argue, here in terms of the racing right now. You've got yourself a fantastic win once again. It is your 6th win, or 5th win even, of the season. To try and credit you too much, but 5 wins here out of a possible 7. You have to be pretty happy with that moving into the chase on that sort of form.
Yeah, we're going to the chase with a lot of confidence. A lot of tough tracks though, so I'm not too fond of Darlington. That's next week, and then we got a road course and somewhere in there, and I'm not good there, so we'll just see how it goes.
See how it goes indeed, and of course though, those races are going to be difficult. You've got Darlington, Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve Auto Club before the finale at Las Vegas as well, and there is going to be one big sticking point in all of that one. One road course then to end it down onto the chase, but with all the races coming up, you have to be feeling that your chances are certainly there.
Yeah, I feel like if we can get to that final round, then we're going to have a pretty good chance at bringing home the championship. We just got to get there first.
He's just got to get there. Logan Crest then takes the win. A well-deserved win come the end of this one. Sitting though with Connery Maddock is 2nd place is the driver of Chad Coleman.
Hello Chad, a well-deserved 2nd place right there, just pipping Corey Silver to the line right at the death. What were your thought processes when you saw Logan and Corey fighting up front?
I just wish I wouldn't have messed up a lap earlier off of 4, so I could have been closer. And maybe we'd have had a chance to make a run at Logan right there with them fighting off going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, it was a very sketchy moment coming into the final 2 turns. A little bits of contact between the 2 lead cars. Logan getting into the wall a little bit as well. That could have been your opportunity for the win, but as you said, a mistake just dropped you a little bit far back just before that point. But a fantastic run in this race. You did qualify 4th place. You went up to 2nd. You won't actually qualify for the wildcard, I'm sad to say, because you've only competed in one race apart from this one this season. But will you definitely be back for next season if the racing is like that?
It'll probably be a lot like this season. I'll just basically run whenever and run the tracks that I have fun at. And this track, Pocono, some of these tracks like this are fun to drive because it takes a little more talent than some of the other tracks, so it's it's a lot more fun. And yeah, it was an exciting 2nd place finish for me. With the spin off of turn 2 and then speeding on pit road, losing a lap. Yeah, there's a lot going on today.
Yeah, that was a fantastic recovery drive in that case. If you did get a speeding on pit road to bring yourself back to 2nd place when all is said and done is a fantastic drive right there, Chad. And Jake, that was Chad Coleman coming home 2nd place. You're there with Corey Silver right now.
Yeah, fantastic recovery from Chad Coleman when all was said and done, but Corey Silver, the man who led with just a couple of laps to go. Corey, it could have been 1st. In the end, it's 3rd. You have to feel maybe a little bit disappointed, but the battling that you had all race long, being at the front of the field for the majority of this race, you have to feel you've got to be pretty pleased with the effort that you've been expending here today.
It was a good race. I didn't expect to be in this position. It's not a track that really suits my driving style, but I was up front, and you hate to let one slip away, but I got a lot of respect for Logan. We've had a lot of tight battles, and we really push each other to the edge, so I'll take it going into the chase, but obviously it stinks giving away that win.
Maybe it does, and well, that's one maybe to mull over come the rest of the season, but for you, it was all about a battle of who could get track position the most. We saw a lot of fights coming off of pit road, that battle of the 10th, the nose, looking for that way through, and we've seen that outside line really become beneficial coming down to turn number 1. For you, you had yourself the start of this one 2 times, but come that final start, that final restart, maybe could you contribute it down to maybe not having that line to really attack into turn number 1?
I didn't get off the jump very well either, so I lost a lot of track position, and obviously that kind of detrimented me entering the turn because you could really just pinch them on the inside and get that run in between 1 and 2, and I didn't have that, so I had to start that whole last run battling from behind and just could, like I said, it was a battle arrow push, track position. Once you got behind, it was really a Herculean feat to make a pass up front.
Certainly was, but for you, you've got 2 wins this season. You're heading into the chase as someone who's automatically qualified. Still on a good rich vein of form there with a 3rd place finish. Logan seems to be your biggest rival right now. Are you going to see maybe a few sparks fly then come through this chase season?
With me and Logan, we are very hard competitors. We're actually almost neighbors. We're not too far apart, so we really push each other to the edge, and I'm really confident. I love Darlington and Montreal in the round 2. I'm kind of already engraving the trophy. I'm really looking forward to that one, so I'm ready to give it my all, and hopefully talk to you guys in Vegas on the top of the podium.
A fighting chance then, Corey Silver thinks he has, and well, a lot of drivers think they're going to have it at the moment, but for the time being, that's all we're going to have time for here on RaceSpotTV and iRacing Live. Thank you very much for joining us right now. Cress takes an unprecedented victory, a 5th of the season, and books his place very, very firmly into the chase. That's been Connery Maddock, that's been Will Vincent behind the camera, I've been Jake Sperry, and that's been some sensational action. Good night.